Happy Saturday. It's about 10 o'clock. I've been up since like 8:30, I think. I just laid back down. Still a little tired because I fell asleep, but then I woke up at like 1, 2 o'clock and didn't go back to sleep till almost 4. So I'm gonna try to get some rest. My niece and nephew are still asleep. Praise Jesus. And that's pretty much the only thing I have on the agenda. I was gonna go to Alabama, to Mobile, which takes about an hour and 15 minutes maybe for me, and see my aunt so the kids can see her, but I don't really feel like taking that trip unless I get a burst of energy. My kidneys feel a whole lot better today. My symptoms from being at the beach have subsided. I got a new spray, a sunscreen that has the aloe already put in it, and I think that really helped a lot because normally, even though I have sunscreen on, like the inside of my arms will be so inflamed, like I can barely touch them. Excuse me. And that did not happen yesterday. So I'm know now to get aloe sunscreen. So yeah, that's all I have planned. The hubby's gone for can shake fundraising. About that, I had to text him to get some dishwashing detergent because I used the last little bit the other day. So yeah, I'm just gonna do that. Not sure if I'll do a record, a cleaning video or not. If I do one, it'll probably be of a different area that you guys have not seen me clean. I'm going to save the other guest room clean with me for like that same week that my family's coming in. They're coming to stay because they have a family reunion in my city, and they're coming from New Orleans. I want to say it's like the 21st through the 24th or something. It's the week before we go to Des Moines. So I'll save that room because I want everything to be nice and fresh and clean. My niece and nephew are in the other guest bedroom. We were putting them in our sitting room, like our family sitting room with the pull-out sofa, but they're comfortable now. They, being over here. So that's easier because we eat in that room. So having to fight with the pull-out sofa, putting it back up every day was too much. So that way they're contained in their little area in the other guest room. So that's all I have planned, guys. Tomorrow I really need to go to church. I really, really do. But yeah, that's all we got. But okay, guys. So I'm out of the bed, looking for the remote. I'm so tired. It's like 2:30. I just got up, but I keep falling asleep, and I just don't really feel. My stomach feels really queasy. My husband's like, "Oh, did you eat?" And I was like, "I had breakfast. I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich at breakfast, and I know that wasn't enough, and a pickle. And I have not had lunch. My niece now didn't get up till late. Easter had already had breakfast, so now I'm finally getting to make everybody lunch at this point because I'm just wore out, and I don't know if it's just because of the residual what's left from yesterday being at the beach, or I don't know. Probably it's just still flaring. I have my night dose of the Medrol dose or the prednisone, and then 1 pill in the morning, and I will be done. I feel like it really helped, and hopefully I can convince my pain doctor that I don't need the referral to see the surgeon, because I really don't. I feel like it's a wasted appointment, and it's a wasted copay, because I feel like just consult with your other physicians. Like, I think she hasn't come out and said anything, like, because I know all the doctors are getting cracked on about patients with opioids, but I'm like, I'm on the lowest dose of Percocet, and my plans are, when I go back to see her in 4 to 6 weeks, that I will be back on the Norco, and I can try to get back to my half to a whole at night, and that's it. But when we're in a flare and you can't get upset because a procedure didn't work as you expected when you have a patient that's in a flare, because everything goes haywire. And that I feel like, I'm not saying it's my fault, but I probably should have just held out and did the injection when I kind of had the 2-week break span. But it is what it is. Like, it's just, we have, with chronic illness, we get tossed around from doctor to doctor all the time because your doctor doesn't understand. And I mean, don't get me wrong, my pain doctor is super sweet, super compassionate. But for you to just try to say, well, go see the surgeon, when I'm telling you I'm not going to have surgery. And if I have a chronic pinched nerve, it's chronic. It's not, they can't do anything to fix the problem. Now, if I had something on my MRI where, I'm showing herniated disc above the level that I had fused, that's a different story. Then I can kind of see what the game plan, what the surgeon's talking about. But still, the doctor that I used to work for that did my surgery, he's very upfront about, hey, they need to try this injection. But guess what? He's changed his whole way of seeing people now. So I have to go in, see the nurse practitioner or the PA. Then if they feel I need to see him, then I'll see him. So that's 2 different co-pays that I have to pay 20%. And when you go to, because my freaking rheumatologist charges all over $400 every time I see her, and I'm still trying to figure out why, because you don't spend no extended time. And I need to start looking at my EOBs from Medicare, because when your doctors are charging levels onto your insurance, there's a specific amount of time that they're supposed to stay in the room. There's a specific vitals and certain workup that they have to do to be able to charge that fee, and I don't feel she's done any of that. So yeah, I'm just kind of like whatever at this point. But Easter just told me the stove beeped. My husband's like, he's stuck. He's still at the doggone fundraiser because the last group is not a new group, or they are new, so he couldn't leave them. And I feel bad, but he was like, well, I guess you didn't get to start cleaning up like you wanted to. And I was like, no, I did not. I don't even care at this point. Like, wash what I need, and just, it is what it is. Like, I just can't deal with it today. So I'm doing like these little mini deep dish pizzas that my husband brought for me, Easter, and my niece, because my nephew only eats rice and chicken nuggets, and we have not went grocery shopping. So yeah. And I was gonna do these noodles. The veggie noodles that I brought. So I just have to get sauce. So hopefully my husband will run into Publix while he's there and can get me the sauce and some ground turkey, because I really feel like eating spaghetti, but I'm trying to get him to have some type of vegetable, so those noodles he would never know, because all he does is eat the plain noodles, which is Parmesan cheese. So that's my goal. But let me finish this up and I'll come back a little later, guys. Hey guys, don't forget to click that subscribe button down below and click the notification bell so you will be notified every time I upload a video. Yeah. I think I got all the meat off. So the pastas are good? The pasta's good? Good morning, y'all. Happy Sunday. Whew. I'm running behind. It's 9:30. Church starts at 9:30. But I was determined to try to get my niece and nephew to be able to go to church because they don't get to go with my brother. So Tia has to take the reins to get them exposed. So church is actually probably like 15 minutes away, if not longer. It is what it is, but we'll get there when we get there. So I just hope everyone had a good weekend. It's really cloudy here in Florida, and that calls for some aching, but I just prayed and asked God to give me strength because I knew I needed to take them because the last couple of times they were here I didn't get to take them and I felt really bad. So I'll come back after church. Alright guys, so done at church. I came home, changed clothes. It's about to storm at the house, but it's fine where my husband's at Sam's Club for the can shake. So gonna head up there for a little bit and probably do a little shopping. Also, we were just talking about, it's always the same people that sign up to do, fundraising, but the ones that complain are the ones that never help do anything. And literally he had to be at the can shake yesterday the entire time because it was so, about 20 minutes from the house. And by the time he would have made it home, he would have had to go back to pick up the money or go help the new, the newer kids that have never done it. So, this one was 10 to 6. So I'm gonna go hang out, and I don't know if he'll be able to get, we're on the second shift now, so I don't know if he'll be able to get the third shift team mom to just stay to the end and do like 2 to 6, but it's not fair to ask people to sit somewhere for 4 hours either. But I'll figure out. I'm trying to drink some fluids. Like, my kidneys really hurt. But it's like once I hydrate, I feel better. But then by nightfall, it's hurting again. So I don't know. And me and my husband were talking last night about being on all these medications that don't help when it comes to like pain meds and stuff like that. And I'm at a point to where it's like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm not saying it doesn't work ever. It works. Sometimes it works. It'll take the edge off. I don't think there's any pain medicine that will completely take your pain away and you're not going to deal with it after the medication wears off. So I'm just having to reevaluate some stuff, like not being on Benlysta anymore and trying to figure out what's going on with my lungs, because literally when I went to the beach, I felt I was embarrassed as far as, you guys know, if you've gone to the beach, how hard it is, number one, to walk through the sand, even if you don't have health issues. But the fact that I do have health issues, it just makes it so much harder. And at some point, like, my legs are like almost giving out, like, to lift up, like where the kids were standing, to get their feet wet right at the shoreline. and coming back up to like just to sit back under the tent area, I struggled because it's like the sand kept falling, but I have no strength in my legs. And I'm really trying to figure, like, I just don't know anymore when it comes to a lot of stuff with my health. But when we left the beach, I was so out of breath. My husband had to bring the van to get me, to drive me back to where I parked. And it wasn't some super far away, but I literally couldn't, like, I barely made it to the boardwalk. I was like bent over, like scrambling, trying to find the inhaler, because I couldn't breathe. And like I told him, you know, I can't, it's wearing me out because my heart rate's 120 when I'm sitting, 140 when I'm moving, and nobody knows why, and I still have to wait. And he's just like, he's known, like, he's like, you gotta get up and get out of the bed, you know. And I was like, well, I've been in a flare for a week, and I can't help if I'm in the bed. Sorry, the hubby called. But yeah, it's not like I want to be in bed for 6 or 8 hours or whatever. And I know what he means because he's seen me at my lowest, where I'm depressed, I'm stressed out, and, you know, sometimes getting up to move, it does help. But in this case, it's like I get up, I move, I'm in so much pain. Like, I tried to lay back last night on the bed once I got done cooking, and I was literally almost in tears because my back was spasming and locking up. And I'm like, Lord, please help me. And it literally did that for like 20 minutes, and I was finally able to like stretch completely out. So I'm just struggling right now. And I think all of us that deal with chronic illness have these days where you're overwhelmed, you're tired of hurting, you're tired of, you know, taking, you know, 10, 20 pills a day, and nothing seems to work. But it's like, you know, the consequences if you don't take the medication, what will happen. So I just have to really pray, and I really needed to be at church today. Of course, I wasn't in the adult sanctuary, but it did something to me to be able to get out and, you know, starting to let my niece and nephew know about God, because, you know, they don't go to church, and my brother doesn't even really sit down and at least teach them at home. And it hurts me because we were raised, you know, by pastors. Like, my parents were ministers, so I have to take the reign and say, okay, I'm trying to walk right with God, and I've got to be the example until, you know, God tugs on his heart for him to, you know, get back in church like he's supposed to be. So I have not taken any pain medicine. Yesterday I did not take a pain pill until nighttime. So I think I did pretty good. I paid for it, but I was just trying to like come up with other ways to like do breathing, try to meditate or something to keep my mind off of the pain. But I'm still having the spells where I'm just staying, you know, I fall asleep, and I hadn't even took anything. I didn't take a muscle relaxer until last night for bedtime. So I don't know. And I know depression causes you to be tired as well. So I just think my body's just in an overload right now. But I'm going to grab me something to eat because I didn't have time to cook more veggie noodles. I made turkey spaghetti last night, and I didn't have time to recook some more noodles because he just called because he's waiting for me to come, because I know he's hungry. He hasn't had anything to eat, but he wants to eat at Sam's Club. He wants one of their hot dogs. So, but I'll come back a little later, guys. Alright, guys. So I made it to Sam's, of course, earlier. My hair is frizzy. It's 4 o'clock. Thank you, Jesus. I was supposed to be up here till 6 because my husband left and went home. I know he was super tired. So he left and went back to the house. And then I was praying. I was like, we had one athlete that had the 2 to 4 shift. So me and her mom, we were just talking, and I was like, we only had one kid that was scheduled from 4 to 6. And I was like, we need to pray because I don't want to be out here to no 6 o'clock. And my husband just texted me and was like, he's not coming. You ain't gotta tell me twice. Let's pack up, let's go. Because I was not like, my husband, if I would not have came, he would have stayed till now or 6, depending. But I knew he was tired and has not really had a break since we've been back from regionals in Tallahassee. It's like, nonstop. Like, our track time, summer, we don't schedule hardly anything to do with any, extra, because we're always, sorry guys, it's like foggy. We're always on the go. So I don't know how good the kids did or didn't do, because it's been raining on and off the entire time. So, but we're at the point, it's towards the end of the stretch, and it gets tiresome when, it's the same people doing it, or we're always having to be there. So, praise Jesus. I'm headed to the house so I can relax. And today finna be a day that I'm finna probably get right in the bed. We had this discussion, but, I'm hurting. This rain does not mix with autoimmune disease. So, whew. But yeah, I just wanted to come on and say that's what I'm doing at the current moment. And I'll come back to you guys a little later.